The city glittered like it was celebrating something she wasn't sure she deserved. From the penthouse windows, fireworks rehearsed in the distance, flashes of color cutting through the night fog. Inside, music pulsed softly, champagne untouched on the counter. Her phone buzzed again. "I'm downstairs. 5 minutes. We'll make it before midnight. Ethan." She smiled, breathless with anticipation. A new year. A clean escape. No more looking over her shoulder, no more whispers about the men who ruled this city from the shadows. She grabbed her coat and turned toward the door. Click. The sound was subtle. Final. She frowned and twisted the handle. Lock. "That's strange," she murmured, trying again. Her heart beat faster, not panic yet, just confusion. Then the lights dimmed. Footsteps echoed from behind her, slow and unhurried, like someone who owned both time and space. The air changed, heavier, sharper. She didn't need to turn around to know who it was. "Midnight is a dangerous time to leave," a low voice said. She froze. "No," she whispered. "You said you were done with me." A soft chuckle followed. "I said I was patient." She turned. He stood near the bar, immaculate in a black suit, dark eyes reflecting the fireworks outside. The most feared man in the city looked calm, as if this moment had been planned down to the second. "My boyfriend is waiting," she said, forcing strength into her voice. "Unlock the door." He glanced at his watch. 30 seconds to midnight. "You're not starting the new year with him," he said evenly. Her phone buzzed again. Then stopped. "What did you do?" she demanded. He stepped closer. 1 step. 2. The scent of expensive whiskey and danger wrapped around her. "I saved you," he replied. "From a man who sold you for his own survival." The countdown outside grew louder. 10. Her chest tightened. "You're lying." 5. "Am I?" His gaze softened just slightly. "Ask him why he really needed to leave tonight." 3. Fireworks exploded. 2. Her phone went dead. 1. The lock behind her clicked again, this time sealing more than a door. "Happy New Year," the Mafia boss said quietly. "Everything changes now." Silence followed the fireworks, thick and suffocating. She stood frozen as the echoes of celebration faded outside, the city welcoming a new year she no longer felt part of. The Mafia boss turned his back to the window, the last flashes of light dying behind him. "Unlock the door," she said again, quieter now. "This isn't funny." He didn't move. Instead, he reached for the glass on the counter and finally took a sip, unbothered. "If I unlock it," he replied, "you won't make it past the elevator." Her breath hitched. "Is that a threat?" "It's a fact." She crossed her arms, forcing herself not to shake. "You don't get to decide my life." He met her gaze then, fully, intensely. "You're wrong. Tonight I do." Anger flared hot and reckless. "Because you're bored? Because you like control?" A muscle in his jaw tightened. "Because you're standing in the middle of a war you don't even know exists." He stepped closer, stopping just short of touching her. "Your boyfriend," he continued, voice calm but lethal, "has been trading information for protection. Names. Locations. Tonight he was delivering you." Her heart pounded. "You expect me to believe that?" He pulled out his phone and held it up. One message glowed on the screen, Ethan's name at the top. "She's ready. Penthouse. Midnight." Her stomach dropped. "That's not..." Her voice broke. "There has to be an explanation." "There is," he said coldly. "He wanted to survive. You were convenient." She shook her head, tears burning her eyes. "So what now? You keep me locked up?" He exhaled slowly, as if choosing his next words carefully. "Now you listen." He leaned in, his voice dropping to a warning meant only for her. "From this moment on, every move you make puts a target on your back. Leaving with him would have signed your death warrant." Her knees weakened, but she refused to fall. "And you?" she asked. "What do you want from me?" His gaze darkened, something unreadable flickering beneath the surface. "I want you alive," he said. "And that means you stay exactly where I can protect you." She swallowed hard. "And if I refuse?" Pause. "Heavy. Dangerous." "Then this city will eat you," he said quietly. "And I won't stop it twice." She sank onto the edge of the couch, the penthouse suddenly too large, too quiet. "A debt?" she echoed. "You expect me to believe all this is because of a debt?" The Mafia boss moved toward the liquor cabinet, pouring another drink but not offering her one. "Not just any debt," he said. "Your father's." Her head snapped up. "My father is dead." "So is the man he betrayed," he replied calmly. Her pulse thundered. "You're lying." My father was a mechanic. He barely paid rent. He laundered money through his shop, the boss said. For my family. For years. The room tilted. No, she whispered. You've got the wrong person. He turned, eyes sharp. Your father skimmed millions before trying to disappear. He failed. When he died, the debt didn't. Her throat tightened. Then why am I still breathing? Because debts can be repaid in different ways, he said. And because killing you would have been wasteful. The word wasteful sent a chill down her spine. She stood abruptly. If this is about money, I don't have it. I can barely. It's not about money anymore, he interrupted. He walked to a locked drawer and removed an old photograph, sliding it across the table. Her breath caught. It was her mother. Younger. Standing beside a man she didn't recognize, except she did. The same sharp jaw. The same cold eyes. That's impossible, she whispered. My father, the Mafia boss said. And your mother. Her mind reeled. They never told me. They weren't supposed to, he replied. Your mother vanished before the war began. She chose you over power. Silence crashed between them. So what am I to you? She asked softly. His gaze lingered on her face longer than necessary. A reminder, he said. And leverage. Her hands clenched. You're using me. Yes, he admitted without shame. But I'm also keeping you alive. She laughed bitterly. How generous. He stepped closer, his voice lowering. Your boyfriend wasn't the first man sent to watch you. He was just the one foolish enough to fall in love, or pretend to. Her chest burned. Then what happens now? The Mafia boss reached out, lifting her chin so she had no choice but to meet his eyes. Now, he said, you stay with me. Until this debt is settled. And if I try to run? His thumb brushed her jaw, gentle. Dangerous. Then I'll come get you, he said quietly. And next time I won't be kind. She didn't sleep. The penthouse never truly went dark, security lights glowing softly, guards shifting outside the doors. She sat on the bed, knees pulled to her chest, replaying every memory of Ethan. Every smile. Every promise. Every lie. A knock sounded just after dawn. Get dressed, the Mafia boss said from the doorway. You're seeing him. Her heart slammed. You said he betrayed me. I said he sold you, he corrected. There's a difference. The underground garage smelled of oil and cold metal. Ethan sat in a chair at the center of the room, hands bound, face pale and exhausted. His eyes lit up when he saw her. Thank God, he blurted. Baby, you have to get me out of here. Stop, she said, her voice shaking. Just tell me the truth. He swallowed hard, eyes darting to the men standing behind her. I didn't have a choice. They were going to kill me. So you chose me instead? She whispered. Tears welled in his eyes. I thought they'd just scare you. Keep you somewhere safe. I didn't think. Enough, the Mafia boss said coldly. He stepped forward, placing a folder in her hands. Inside were photos. Bank transfers. Messages. Dates stretching back months. You were his insurance policy, the boss said. Your face bought him time. Ethan shook his head wildly. I love you. I swear. I just needed one clean break, one night. She closed the folder, hands trembling. You were going to leave with me, she said softly. Start over. Yes, he said desperately. After tonight. The Mafia boss laughed once, sharp and humorless. After delivering her to my enemies. Silence fell. She looked at Ethan, really looked at him. The man she trusted. The man who memorized her coffee order. The man who had memorized her schedule instead. I protected you, she said quietly. I chose you. He dropped his head. The Mafia boss turned to her. Say the word and he disappears. Her stomach twisted. Power settled heavily in her chest. No, she said after a moment. Let him live. Ethan looked up, hope flickering. But take him away, she continued. Far from me. The Mafia boss studied her, something unreadable passing through his eyes. As you wish, he said. As Ethan was dragged away, she didn't cry. She only realized the truth as the garage doors closed behind them. She had just chosen the Mafia boss. And there was no turning back. By the time they returned to the penthouse, the sun was fully up, but it felt like night had finally swallowed her. She stood by the window watching the city wake, pretending she could still step into a life that no longer belonged to her. Behind her, the Mafia boss loosened his tie, movements unhurried as if nothing significant had happened. You should rest, he said. Today will be long. I don't need sleep, she replied. I need answers. He paused, then nodded once. Fair. He gestured for her to sit. When she didn't, he spoke anyway. The man you spared will vanish. New identity. New country. If he ever looks back, he dies. Her stomach tightened, but she didn't argue. And me? She asked. What am I now? His eyes darkened. Under my protection. That sounds like a cage. It's a shield, he corrected. One you can't survive without. She laughed softly. You keep saying that. Because it's true. He stepped closer. The people hunting your family won't stop just because the calendar changed. So that's it? She asked. You own me now? The word lingered between them. I don't own what I haven't claimed, he said quietly. Her breath caught. He reached into his jacket and placed a sleek phone on the table. No numbers except mine. Guards outside your door. You don't leave without me. She stared at it. And if I refuse to follow your rules? His gaze flicked to the window, then back to her. Then I'll tighten them. Anger flared. You're enjoying this. Pause. Then honesty. I don't enjoy chaos, he said. I enjoy control. He moved closer, close enough that she could feel his warmth, his presence impossible to ignore. And you, he added, voice lower, are chaos wrapped in innocence. Her heart pounded. I didn't ask for this. No, he agreed. But the moment you spared your boyfriend, you chose who you are. She swallowed. And who is that? His fingers brushed her wrist, not possessive but deliberate. Someone who can survive my world. He straightened, already pulling away. This year belongs to me, he said. If you're smart, you'll let it. She watched him leave the room, the door closing softly behind him. Only then did she realize the truth. The countdown hadn't ended at midnight. It had just begun. The first thing she noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the controlled kind. Every sound in the penthouse felt measured, approved. Even her footsteps seemed too loud against the marble floor. 2 guards stood outside her bedroom door. Not watching her, guarding her. Luxury wrapped around her like a velvet prison. Designer clothes appeared in the closet. Fresh meals arrived without her asking. Every need anticipated before she voiced it. Freedom was the only thing missing. She tested the boundaries slowly. Walking the halls. Asking questions no one answered. Touching doors that were always locked. He watched her the entire time. Not openly. Never hovering. But she could feel him. His presence like a shadow that shifted when she wasn't looking. On the 3rd day she snapped. I want to go outside, she said when he finally joined her for dinner. He cut his steak calmly. No. I'm not a hostage, she said sharply. He looked up then. No, he agreed. You're an asset. Her chest tightened. That's supposed to make me feel better? It should make you feel alive, he replied. Assets are protected. She pushed back her chair. You can't keep me locked in here forever. He stood, closing the distance between them with terrifying ease. I can, he said softly. But I won't. She met his gaze, defiant. Then let me leave. A beat passed. Tomorrow, he said. With me. Her breath caught. Why? Because someone tried to breach my perimeter this morning, he said calmly. And they were asking for you. Fear crawled up her spine. Who? She whispered. A rival who believes you're more valuable than I'm letting on. She shook her head. I don't know anything. That's what makes you dangerous, he said. You don't realize what you are. He reached out, adjusting a strand of hair that had fallen into her face. The gesture was intimate, unsettling. Under my roof, he continued, nothing touches you without my permission. Her pulse raced. And outside. A slow smile curved his lips. Outside, he said, the city remembers who I am. He stepped back, control snapping back into place. Finish your dinner, he ordered gently. Tomorrow you'll see why staying close to me is the safest choice you'll ever make. As he walked away, she realized something that scared her more than the guards. Part of her wanted to believe him. The city looked different from the inside of his car. Bulletproof glass muted the noise. Streets parted effortlessly as convoys moved at his command. She sat beside him, hands folded tightly in her lap, hyper-aware of every glance he cast her way. Eyes forward, he said calmly. She hadn't realized she was staring. They stopped outside a private restaurant closed to the public. Guards cleared the entrance before she even reached the door. This is unnecessary, she muttered. It's a message, he replied. Inside the air was thick with tension. Halfway through dinner she felt it, someone watching her. A man across the room rose slowly, recognition flashing across his face. Her blood ran cold. "Do you know him?" the Mafia boss asked quietly. She nodded. "He's from my past. An old friend." The man took a step toward her. That was all it took. The Mafia boss stood instantly, placing himself between them. "Sit," he said, voice low and lethal. The man hesitated. A mistake. The room erupted in movement. Guards drew weapons. The stranger was forced to his knees in seconds, blood pooling from a split lip. "He was asking questions about you," one guard said. She stared, shaken. "I didn't tell him anything." "I know," the Mafia boss replied. He crouched before the man. "Who sent you?" Silence. A single nod from the Mafia boss ended it. The man was dragged away, his fate unspoken but obvious. She turned away, heart racing. Outside she finally exploded. "You didn't have to do that." "Yes," he said calmly. "I did." "You enjoyed it," she accused. "No," he said. "I protected what's mine." The words hit harder than the violence. "I'm not yours," she snapped. He stopped walking, turning to face her fully. "Then why did he approach you?" She opened her mouth, then closed it. "Because they think you matter," he continued. "Because they think you're the fastest way to hurt me." Her voice shook. "And that makes me a target." "It makes you untouchable," he said fiercely. They stood inches apart, tension crackling between them. His gaze dropped to her lips just for a second. Then he stepped back. "Get in the car," he ordered softly. "Next time someone looks at you like that, I won't be as patient." Her heart thundered. For the first time she understood. This wasn't just protection. It was possession. The silence on the drive back was heavier than gunfire. She broke it first. "You said they think I matter." He didn't look at her. "I said they know." Her fingers curled into the leather seat. "Then stop protecting me like a secret and tell me why." The car slowed as the gates to his estate opened. Once inside, he dismissed the guards with a gesture and led her into a private study she hadn't seen before. One wall was covered in maps. Another, photographs. Her photographs. Different ages. Different cities. Moments she never knew were watched. Her breath caught. "You've been tracking me my entire life." "Watching," he corrected. "Waiting." "For what?" she whispered. He pulled a slim folder from the desk and placed it in her hands. Inside were documents stamped with names she recognized from whispered conversations. Crime families, syndicates, enemies. "And you," he said quietly, "are the last legitimate heir." Her head spun. "That's insane." "Your mother was more than someone who ran away," he continued. "She was a broker. A negotiator. She held alliances together just by existing." She shook her head. "I'm not like her." "No," he agreed. "You're worse." She looked up sharply. "You have her blood," he said. "And none of her fear." She laughed weakly. "You're saying people are trying to kill me because of genetics?" "They're trying to control you," he said. "Marry you. Trade you. Use you to legitimize power." Her chest tightened. "And you?" His eyes darkened. "I'm the only one who refuses to share." The truth settled brutally into place. "You didn't lock that door just to save me," she said. "You locked it because midnight made me valuable." "Yes," he said simply. Anger flared, but beneath it, something else stirred. Understanding. Power. She straightened. "If I'm this important," she said slowly, "then I stop being hidden." He studied her, impressed despite himself. "That world will destroy you." "Only if I'm weak," she replied. "And I'm done being that." A slow, dangerous smile curved his lips. "Careful," he murmured. "That's how queens are born." Her pulse raced, not with fear. With possibility. The attack came at dusk. No warning. No negotiation. She was in the study when the first shot shattered the glass wall, alarms screaming to life. Guards flooded the halls as she was dragged behind the desk, her heart slamming against her ribs. "Stay down," someone shouted. Footsteps thundered. Gunfire echoed, sharp, relentless. Then he was there. The Mafia boss moved like the chaos belonged to him, weapon steady, expression unreadable. He crouched beside her, one hand gripping her shoulder. "They're inside," he said calmly. "This is the moment." "The moment for what?" she gasped. "For you to choose." A masked man burst through the door, gun raised. Everything slowed. The Mafia boss fired first, but not fatally. The man collapsed, screaming, weapon skidding across the floor. "Get up," the boss ordered her. She stared at him. "You want me to?" "Look at him," he said. "This is what happens when you don't decide who you belong to." The wounded man laughed through blood. They'll never stop coming for you, he sneered at her. You're too valuable. Her hands shook, but she stepped forward. Who sent you? She demanded. The man hesitated, then smirked. Your future husband. Rage burned through her fear. She picked up the fallen gun, the weight shocking but grounding. Everyone froze. The Mafia boss watched her, not stopping her, testing her. You walk out with us, the attacker continued, or this city burns around you. She turned to the Mafia boss. If I stay with you, this never ends, does it? No, he said honestly. But you'll never be powerless again. She looked back at the man on the floor, at the blood, at the truth. Then she made her choice. She raised the gun, not at the attacker, but at the future he represented. This, she said steadily, ends now. The Mafia boss smiled slowly as she pulled the trigger. Not to kill, but to declare war. Smoke still hung in the air when the last alarm fell silent. Bodies were gone. Blood scrubbed away. The estate restored to pristine order as if violence had never touched it. Only the tension between them remained, raw and electric. She stood by the window, city lights flickering below. So this is it, she said quietly. No more hiding. He approached slowly, carefully, as if she were something powerful enough to shatter if mishandled. This is the beginning, he corrected. She turned to face him. They won't stop. No, he agreed. But they'll think twice. He stopped in front of her, close enough that she could feel his breath. You chose me. I chose myself, she replied. A slow smile crossed his face. That's why this works. He reached into his jacket and removed a ring, simple, dark, unmistakably dangerous. Not a proposal. A claim. This doesn't make you mine, she said, eyes locked on his. It makes us allies. He slid the ring onto her finger anyway. Call it what you want. She didn't pull away. Outside, fireworks from delayed celebrations burst faintly over the skyline. Echoes of the night. Everything changed. This year, he murmured, thumb brushing her knuckle, the city will learn your name. And if they don't kneel? She asked. His gaze burned. They fall. She took a steady breath, feeling the weight of the ring, of the power, of the man beside her. Midnight had passed hours ago, but only now did the new year truly begin, and it belonged to them. Fire.